Are you wanting to learn how to solo on guitar but just hitting wall after wall and achieving little to no progress? Is it causing you to simply get so frustrated with the guitar that you're sometimes ready to just put the guitar down and move on to something else? You're not alone, as this is a very common problem for guitarists and especially for beginners. These frustrations can really cause a paralysis on the instrument. And with all of the enormous amount of guitar lesson material out there, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and not know what you should choose to make real progress. You need to do something simple because, one, you don't need to try something that's too hard for your current ability on the instrument, and two, by choosing something simple, you will be able to see immediate improvement, which in turn gives you the sense of accomplishment we all need when learning an instrument. So today I'm going to give you 3 simple yet effective things you can do on guitar that will take you from not being able to solo at all to actually making the music you want. And by the way, if you're just getting started with soloing, make sure to download my free beginner soloist handbook that I've put together. It's packed with all sorts of scales and arpeggios and reference materials so that you have it all in one place. The link is in the description below and it includes what we're covering today. Number 1, the best thing you can do is to use the easiest scale. You don't want to overthink when you're playing, so I don't recommend that you use a standard major or minor pentatonic scale. You should use the diagonal pentatonics. These are the most simplistic ways of looking at any scale, and we need to use a scale in order to play in key and sound good. Now, the diagonal minor pentatonic begins with 2 notes on the low string here, so let's play an A minor. So I'm going to play the 3rd fret here, and then the 5th fret on the 6th string. Then I move up to the 5th string and I play 3 notes there, all separated by a whole step. So 2 notes, and the root is my 2nd note in the shape here, and then the 3 notes on the next string. It's a very simple yet effective scale that includes all 5 notes of the minor pentatonic. Let's look at how you can play other octaves thereof. Then you shift to the 4th string and play the exact same shape. 2 notes followed by 3. You adjust for the tuning difference on the B string, and then you play the exact same shape. Here it is all together. Now, to use this, you simply put the root, which is the 2nd note in this shape, on the key that you want to use it in. So in this case, it would be A minor. Let me demonstrate that. As you can see, it works great. You can also use it over a standard 12-bar blues progressions. Over E blues, I'll use the E minor diagonal pentatonic. So this one right here. Let me demonstrate that. Let's say you want to play over a standard C major song. Well, you can play the diagonal major pentatonic directly over it. The pattern is 3 notes, which begins on the root, followed by 2 notes on the next string. Let me show you that. Beginning on C, I play 3 notes, and then I move to the next string and play 2, right below there. Once again. And then you do the exact same shape starting on the 4th string. So 3 notes, followed by 2. Adjust for the tuning difference and do the exact same shape. Here's the whole thing. Let's hear that over C major. It's as easy as that to play over your major keys now. Number 2, limit what you play so that your focus helps develop your musicality. When we first learn a scale like this minor pentatonic, for example, and then try to use it to improvise over a piece of music, we almost always end up playing it in a very scalar way up and down the entire neck that we learned. This makes sense to us because we learn the entire scale and we feel like we have to incorporate all of those notes. But it is scalar sounding and not musical at all. With limitation practice, you'll need to play fewer notes and you'll end up sounding much more musical. Simply use one octave of your pentatonic. Maybe choose the middle here. And by limiting your choices, you automatically listen to the music better and your brain can focus on playing better and trying to match the notes to the chords being played. You also start to incorporate more interesting rhythms and repeat notes because there's really no way around doing that. So when I limit myself to these 5 fret positions, I end up having to be repetitive. And thinking of something that sounds rhythmic or fills the space properly, I'm not focused on just playing up and down a scale, and I can listen to the music so much better. So by limiting your choices, you're actually opening pathways to be more musical with fewer notes, which is what any soloist needs to learn first. If you can be musical and melodic with just a few notes, you'll do much better when you add more notes later on. The main thing is to keep it simple, and even if you're a complete beginner at soloing, you'll sound much, much better than playing entire scales across all 6 strings. Number 3, start incorporating interesting ways of playing notes you're using. It's one thing to just play the notes, but there are far more musical ways of doing it that make it interesting to the listener. Think about some of the techniques that you can incorporate. You could do slides. You could do pull-offs. You could do vibrato. You could do bends. You could do all those kind of decorations that really make it musical sounding. The way you play a note is to make it human and expressive. Now, if you're bad at some of these techniques, that's okay. Use the ones you can play for now and slowly add in the techniques that you need work on. You're only going to get better at them by incorporating them into your playing. But keep it simple. Use a simple scale, in this case the diagonal pentatonic. Limit the number of notes or fret positions so that you can focus on listening better and thereby make better note choices. And then incorporate some note decorations, the bends, the slides, the vibrato, into your soloing to make it even more musical. Now, if you want to dive a little deeper into the diagonal pentatonics and how to phrase with them, I recently made a lesson about that very subject right here. You can watch that next.